Wish that you were better.
You know me, homie. I'm in lockdown, California. I got nothing else to do.
Except set appointments, close appointments, you know?
That's right. So so I've been watching the replays and I'm like, damn. So I have like this whole intricate funnel of this and that when I have leads come in, because I am running Facebook ads and lead gens, and I have like 180 that have come through my pipeline and very little action on them. So all I started doing was calling those people. And so yesterday I closed an account, a new account. And that was just basically by me taking your advice and just like, yeah, just call them. So I just called them. I wrote out my little sales script that you guys suggested.
Love
and
it.
went through that. And yeah, so I got a new client out of it from just that simple tactic. So
Yeah,
just got to
that's
talk to
serious.
people, you know?
Yeah.
It's we all get into marketing because it feels like you can just do it behind a screen, but we forget that it's still a human driven business, and really every business is human driven, whether it's your clients or your team. And the sooner you can step in and lean into just talking to people, no matter what personality you have, I promise you it's going to make a huge difference. So awesome work, man.
Also Steph Burrell. I remember the second day she was a bit distraught and she's like, man, Balson, like I had somebody cancel on me and I'm not excited about it. And I told her, by end of this workshop, your pipeline's going to be full again. You're not going to care about that client you lost. And she messaged me like literally a few hours ago. She's like, Paulson, I've got demos booked from what we're doing. And I'm like excited for her as well. And there's a lot of you, you know, just like what George shared, a lot of you that are seeing a new energy, a new level of focus, right? And a different, like when you see leads coming in to be working with you, I don't know what it is, but psychologically, it gets all these things flowing. You want to now think about a closer. You want to now think about a VA to do these activities. You're thinking about building on sales, but it's the momentum that you've got to build on. Tomorrow, at one point, your leads are going to dry out. Ads are not going to work. It's going to go back to the work that you did and what you've set up. But without any further ado, Joel, let's just get started with today, man.
Let's do it.
I don't know if you're doing any slides or anything, but
no, we are.
Today and tomorrow. Okay, cool. So today is literally the final day as far as like real practical application. Tomorrow is going to be more of like a review and then, you know,
Q&A.
insight to what does it look like. Yeah, really Q&A. And we'll go from there. So go ahead, Joel.
Awesome. Guys, who's ready for day 9? If you are, drop a 1 below. Let's freaking do this. All right. Here we go. Day 9, client results. At this point, we've talked about how to how to have a 10K agency mindset, how to pick a niche, how to create an offer, how to prospect, how to build a prospecting list. Then how to actually go out and set appointments organically through paid advertising. Then we've talked about how to do the 2-step close. And finally, at this point, you should have a really good understanding of the whole agency model in terms of how to go out, how to get appointments, how to take them through a sales process to turn those appointments into actual clients. And now the moment a lot of you guys may have been waiting for, how do we actually go out and get them amazing results? So what are we going to cover? You know, since day 1, I've been telling you guys, I'm going to give you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And my job here is to really empower you guys to be able to think on your own, as opposed to having to rely on me for every little step of the way. So instead of me giving you all these proven ads and like templates to just plug and play, I really want to empower you in terms of understanding how to get clients amazing results and what goes into getting clients amazing results. So with that in mind, we're going to cover intent versus impulse advertising. Then I'm going to share some examples. Then I'm going to give you guys my 4 biggest client result hacks. Then I'm going to talk about what to do if you have 0 experience. Then I'm going to talk about where to learn how to get amazing results. Then we're going to talk about the biggest misconceptions about client results. And then I'm going to give you guys 3 bonus hacks. If that sounds good to you, drop one final round of ones in the chat. And given that we only have 45 minutes, we're going to just jump right in. So first things first, who knows the difference between intent and impulse marketing? And I don't know if that's the technical word for it. That's just the one that I wrote down. Give me a show of hands if you know the difference. A few of you guys, cool. If you don't know the difference, we're going to cover it. So in terms of getting your clients results as a marketing agency, you guys have to keep in mind that there's essentially two types of clients. There's clients where you're getting them customers that have intent, and there's clients that you're getting customers for that have an impulse. It can also be a mix of both. So the question to ask yourself is this: when my clients get customers, are they hiring them because it's a need or is it a want? So for example, if your toilet breaks, do you need to get it fixed or do you want to get it fixed? If your car breaks down in the middle of the highway, are you getting this because you've been really wanting to get your car looked at, or do you need to get out of the highway and into a safe area where you're going to be out of harm's way? When you have a tree issue at your house where your tree is growing and it's growing to the point where if it falls, it's going to collapse on your roof, do you want to get it fixed or do you need to get it fixed? Obviously, for all of those, it's a need. You got to do it whether you want to or not. Whether you want to get your tree taken care of, you're going to have to do it. So if there's a need, it's more of an intent form of advertising because there's a clear intention. You don't have to create the desire. The desire is already there. The motivation is already there. We're not having to get someone excited about tree care. They just have to call the freaking company and get their tree removed, or they have to call the plumbing company and get their toilet fixed, or they have to call the emergency towing company and get your car towed. It's not a matter of you having the motivation to want to get your car towed. That who here has ever just wanted to get their car towed for fun? Who here has ever wanted to get their toilet fixed for fun? Okay, perfect. That's the point. You don't do it because you want to do it. It's because you need to do it. That's intent-based. Those are intent-based clients. Now, impulse-based clients. This is a want. Who has seen an ad for a $50 massage at a beautiful spa and is like, ooh, I want that? Or who has seen an ad for their entire kitchen being remodeled, some beautiful countertops, and you're like, ooh, I want that for my house? You don't need it. You want it. I've definitely ran ads for my chiropractor saying, hey, we offer a $21 adjustment. That is a want. It's like, ooh, I want to get adjusted. It's only $21. Let's do it. Or another example is if you have skin issues and you're a med spa and you have a skin treatment and you just want your skin to feel good and look good, that's a want. It's not a need. If you don't get it fixed, you're going to be fine. You're just maybe not going to be as confident. You're not going to feel as good. But that's a want, not a need. So that's impulse advertising.
I'm pretty sure my wife's got this mixed up when we go shopping.
Yeah? Just
so you know, everything is a need. How do we fix this? How do we fix this?
Tell her to show up to the workshops, you know? We'll drop some truth bombs, you know? We'll reset expectations.
My account's going down. I don't know.
I'm good on it. You just got to close more clients and then it won't matter. That's the truth, okay? So go focus on setting and closing appointments. There you go. Guys, who wants to volunteer to give me an example for an intent-based client where it's a need? Or drop it below. Drop it below. If you have some ideas for
Let's
intent-based.
go with Stephanie. You were about to raise your hand, Stephanie.
Oh, the first thing that came to mind was roofing. Like if you get a hole in the roof, you need to do that.
Yeah, I think it's a great example. Anyone else? Okay. I'm seeing a few more in the chat. Perfect. This is great. Auto breakdown, pest control. Awesome. Roofing. Roofing is a perfect example where it could be a mix of both. Like if your roof is old and you just want a nicer looking roof, it can be a want, but it's definitely also a need, right? Especially if there's been like a hailstorm, you got a hole in your roof. So I would say it depends on what issue you're having. If it's more of like a design desire or you just want it to look nicer, I would say it's more of a want. If it's more of a, oh my God, we need a roof to be replaced ASAP, it's definitely a need. So
the roofing space, like solar, is a want.
Yeah, that's definitely, it could be a mix of both. And I'm going to get into that example in a second. Let's see. Someone said realtor. That's definitely like, that definitely can be both, right? Like you might just want to sell your home because you want to move to a nicer house. You don't need to. That could definitely be a mix of both. Plumbing, definitely. Broken window, definitely. Home inspection, definitely. Water damage, definitely. Yeah, all this stuff, really, really good. What about wants? What would be some good niche examples for wants? For impulse. You guys are just throwing products, not niches. Give me some niches. Someone put iPad. Yeah, like gym, e-com, perfect. Like med spa, cryotherapy, jeweler. Yes. Like Invisalign, perfect. This is exactly what I'm perfect. You guys got it. Now, it can also be a mix of both. So, Stephanie, I'm really glad you brought up roofing because there's definitely some niches where it could be a little bit of a mix of both. If you're missing 2 teeth, you're going to want some new teeth and get some implants, but like you can still live your life without it. Stem cell, you might have knee pain and you've tried a bunch of different things and you kind of need to get it fixed, but you also don't need to get it fixed. It's kind of a mix of both worlds. If you've been in a car accident and you want to speak with an attorney to see if you are entitled for compensation, it's kind of a want and it's kind of a need. You kind of need to do it and you kind of want to do it. Wedding venues. The reason I put this one is because if you're getting married, you need a wedding venue. But it's also definitely an impulse. If you see an ad with a beautiful wedding venue, it's like, oh, I want that. So these are examples of a mix of both. Hopefully you guys are seeing the full spectrum. Now, what you have to keep in mind is if it's an intent or a need, it's definitely going to be more SEO and Google ads. If you try to do Facebook ads for plumbers, you're going to have a really hard time. If you try to do Facebook ads for water damage, you're going to have a really hard time. If you try to do Facebook ads for, tree care, you're going to have a hard time. People aren't walking around in their day-to-day lives being like, oh, I want my tree removed. You guys aren't waking up every day being like, oh man, I really want a plumber to come over and fix upgrade my sewage system. None of you guys are thinking that. You guys are thinking, ooh, I really want to improve my skin, or ooh, I really want to lose some weight, or ooh, I really want to get my back adjusted. So if it's a need, you're going to have to rely more on SEO and Google ads. If it's more of an impulse, definitely Facebook and Instagram ads work really, really well. I'm not saying SEO and Google ads don't work, and vice versa. They can kind of both work, but the general rule of thumb for an impulse, something that's a want, the whole idea is you kind of want to be that store that has their best product in the window, and you're walking by and you see the product and you're like, wow, I want that. You want to recreate that impulse-driven decision. Facebook and Instagram is perfect. Someone's scrolling, they see your product or your service, and they're like, ooh, I want that. If it's a mix where it can kind of be a need or a want, like stem cell, for example, that could be both. Both can work. If you're like, hey, Denver residents, we've got a new procedure that helps you heal your knee pain without surgery. Click below to learn more. You could put that on Facebook. You could also do Google ads for knee pain treatments, Denver. So if it's has both intent and impulse, you kind of just have to pick your poison and figure out which platform you want. Now, here's a few examples. I literally just went in the ads library. I looked up CrossFit. This is not a very good ad, but it was late last night, and I just wanted to just put one example. Someone saying, hey, come in and get one free one-on-one session and get your post-quarantine fitness program started. That's definitely an impulse. You don't need it. You want it. You want to lose weight. You want to look better. You want to get in shape. Now, an intent. Plumber near me. You look up plumber near me on Google, you get this ad. Here's an example of both, kind of a mix. If you look up Denver dentist, you'll see some Google ads because it's a clear, I need a dentist. Most people don't, again, wake up every day being like, ooh, I need a dentist. Who's going to be my next dentist? No one is thinking like that. So it's definitely a need. However, some of you guys are like, ooh, I would love to have my teeth be a little bit more straight or a little bit whiter. So it can also be an impulse. This is an Invisalign ad. Does that make sense, guys? Intent versus impulse. The problem is most of you, I'm not saying most of you guys, but there's definitely some of you guys that try to jump right into Google or Facebook before actually figuring out what is going to align with my clients and my niche. I built my agency off of an impulse-driven service. Chiropractic, for the most part, even though it does solve a pain point and it kind of can be a mix of both, most people see it as like, ooh, I just want to go and get an adjustment. This is the market speaking. It's not what I would like, and it's not what my clients would like. My clients would love if everyone thought chiropractic was like, was a way to help them heal long-term for the rest of their lives and be healthy. But most people aren't walking around thinking chiropractic is a long-term health and wellness methodology. They're seeing it as, ooh, I just want to feel good and get my back cracked. That's the reality of the market, and you can't change that. So I built my agency completely off of that. That being said, if I had a plumbing agency, I would have done Google and SEO. So with that in mind, now that you guys understand that, I think the biggest thing to keep in mind is knowing where your client is on that spectrum and then starting your strategies from there. Now, here's my biggest client result hacks. And this will help you kind of figure out where to go from here now that you know if it's intent or impulse. So if you're doing an impulse-driven ad, which is a want, I would follow the discount or free model. So for example, if you're advertising a med spa treatment, I would do a discounted med spa treatment because that's a want. If you're doing a chiropractic adjustment, I would do a discounted adjustment, or I would do a free chiropractic screening. If I was doing Invisalign, it's a want. I would be doing a free consultation or a discounted Invisalign treatment. That's a really easy hack to help you guys figure out what kind of offer to put out. The other huge hack, guys, is the Facebook ads library. So I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually look at every single ad on Facebook that's live. If you go to facebook.com/ads/library, you can go through and look up Denver chiropractor. Okay. Then you could be like Denver chiropractic. Oh, look, some ads. Let me keep searching. And I just picked a random city. Oh, look, some ads. So you can get some really easy ideas by just picking a city name. This one's not running ads. Picking a city name and then putting your niche and then looking for businesses in that niche on the ads library and seeing what they're doing. CrossFit Miami.
So when I look at these resources, guys, I look at the framework. I don't really care about copying word for word. I'm really trying to understand the psychology behind how they run these things.
Yeah, exactly, guys. It's just to do some research on your niche. So you can keep search. Maybe gyms are going to be bad because a lot of them aren't running ads right now, but yeah, you guys get the point though. Ads library. The other huge hack for you guys is going to be Groupon. You guys can actually look for proven offers here. So for example, if I look up med spa, I can see all the different offers and the ones with the most ratings. Look, this one has 429 ratings. 1 or 2 eyelash lifts, 39% off. So $20 eyelash lift. I got my offer. Let's see. This one's got 587 ratings. 6 Zerona sessions and a diet and exercise info pack for $189. 6 Zerona laser treatments. So then I could go here and be like, hey, Denver, we're doing something amazing to promote our brand new weight loss treatment and to help promote our office, our med spa office. Plus, everyone that signs up is also going to get an exercise and nutrition plan with our doctor on staff. The way it works is the next 100 people to sign up are going to be able to get 6 laser treatments for $189. Click learn more below to claim your spot. Something along those lines. But for impulse-driven ads, we essentially want to find an offer to promote. Through you can look in the ads library, you can look on Groupon, et cetera, et cetera. All right, here's my last hack for you guys. If you're doing more intent-based ads, you can actually go and look for all the keywords that your competitors are spending money on. So for example, Denver plumber. All right, let's see. I can grab their website and put it in here and get a ton of different insights in terms of their keywords, their ads, which ads they're spending the most amount of money on, which keywords they're spending the most amount of money on, which landing pages they're driving traffic to, what they rank for organically. So I can get a lot of really, really good insights in terms of how they're actually running their intent-based ads. Those are my top 4 biggest client result hacks. If you're doing if you're doing impulse, come up with a discounted or free offer, look in the ads library, and go on Groupon. If you're doing intent, go on SpyFu. And then I'll give you one last hack, guys, since I forgot to write it down. Google is your best friend. So we talked about, what was an example that you guys gave me? Tree removal company near me. Okay, now I'm seeing all these ads. And if I click, I can see what kind of landing page they send me to. I can get clear. I can see what they're doing. That's essentially how you spy on people. Now, every time you click, it does cost them money, so don't overdo it. But the thing to keep in mind, wedding venues, Denver. I can see who's advertising, who's bidding the highest, what kind of landing page they're sending to, et cetera, et cetera. So this is going to be your best friend in terms of figuring out what kind of ads to run and to get different ideas. For example, dental implants, Denver. I can kind of see the copy too, like same day dental implants. Maybe that's something that people care about.
Can I add something here, Joel?
Yeah.
We had a guy that we closed. He was a plastic surgeon out in New Jersey somewhere. So you guys know that we have a sales department and we have sales agencies that, pound the waves for us. And we closed the guy for like almost $4,000 a month. He had 2 locations, brought him in. Our account managers are on a call with him. And he's like, hey, Dr. Kaplan, we'd like to share with you all the offers that we would run. And he just turns it off. He's like, oh my God, my practice is elite. Why would I ever do anything that's discounted? And I'm like, seriously? Like, we didn't talk about offers or anything on your sales calls or your demos or like intros? He's like, yeah, they probably had said something, but I need good marketing. And I'm like, listen, so here's how we're going to do this. We have about 4 or 5 offers, low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket. You choose which offers you want to run. If you don't want to run offers, I'm happy to send you back to accounting and refund you. Because in the middle of New Jersey, I am not wasting my time and my team's time on Facebook ads to get, high ticket procedures done. I know it's not going to sell, right? So don't sell and prospect from the place of like, oh, I need this client. Sell from the perspective of I'm going to do what this client actually needs, whether I'm going to keep them or not. And a lot of you say yes on account management and say yes to all these different variables that they're throwing at you, and they don't even allow you to run an offer, and you find yourself in this loophole of problems. Okay. So
we agree on the offer on the demo call that Omir talked to you guys about yesterday. And if they don't agree, they don't qualify for our guarantee. So if they want to offer a $1,000 x-ray, fine, but you're not going to get 20 patients guaranteed. Who here is down to sign up for a $1,000 x-ray? Peter? See you maybe? Are you sure?
Yeah, hell of an x-ray.
Yeah. Like if I said, hey guys, the next 10 people to sign up get a $50 deep tissue massage at one of Denver's best spas, all of us would take that offer up. So you got to have a good offer. That being said, if clients are going to fight you on it, we just don't even let them through with the guarantee. So guys, is this helpful so far? Give me a 1 if it is. Just giving you guys some aha moments, some clarity.
I like the spy food. That's a paid service, right? Like $30 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it's $30,
Yeah. No, that's cool. Hey, for other crap, that's more than that.
Yeah. And like once, especially with intent-based ads, like once you get your Google ads down, like you have your negative keyword list built out, you have your landing page converting, like you have your bidding systems in place. You kind of don't need to keep reinventing the wheel. It's like once you've mastered Google ads and how to rank people's websites on different keywords that you're bidding on, and you have negative keyword list to protect yourself and your page is converting, like it's done. You got it. You figured it out. There's no like having to remake it over and over and over again. So maybe you're testing out new copy, but new headlines, but that's pretty much it. Okay. If I had zero experience, guys, who wants to know what I would do if I had zero experience starting out?
Hire HighLevel to do it for you.
George said that. Here I'm gonna give you guys my honest.
Expensive. It's expensive. You better.
I'm gonna give you guys my
margins.
honest opinion, because that's what you get here. And there is white label, but I want to be honest. If you have zero experience, instead of trying to find a shortcut, the real answer is to go out and get experience. Everyone's trying to build a 7-figure agency with zero experience. Like, well, you're thinking about solving the problem the wrong way. The real solution and the real question you should be asking yourself is not, how do I get results without zero experience? It's, how do I get experience really, really fast and shorten the learning curve? That's the right question most of you guys should be asking yourself, not how do I get results with zero experience? So I think most beginners are asking the wrong question. They're looking for a shortcut. They're looking for a way to be able to achieve the end result without having to go through the process. And my honest views on white label long-term, key word here is long-term, is that it exposes your business too much and it creates a huge vulnerability, because you're essentially outsourcing a third of your entire business to another company. And that's very, very dangerous for a few reasons. Number one, you don't have control. You're not as intimate with your clients. It does not force you to take ownership, which is key as you scale. They're just not going to operate at the same level of speed as you will. It just can't be. Like, it's impossible. So you guys need to look at white label as a support system, not as a long-term solution. And I'm sure any white label agency would agree. Like, and that's how they set you up to succeed.
100%, guys. Like most of the agencies that come to us through Marketplace, they're either switching a niche of some kind and they've got 50 clients ready to go in that niche and they haven't done anything, right? That's one way. Or they're like the branding agencies and creative guys that have never touched lead gen and they need somebody to kind of pave the way. But long term, you're giving up a lot of margin and a lot of control outside of your business. I don't like we're talking about getting it to 10K, right? I don't recommend white labeling and giving up that much control, right? I want to work with every one of you, but not everybody qualifies for Marketplace. I promise you, so you got to be versatile in why you're going about it. If you already have a Facebook ads client and you know that Google ads is not in your wheelhouse, sure, that may make sense to just try that industry out for a second. And then you still should run your own Google ads in the long term, right? So it's really like a band-aid to a bigger issue when you go with white labeler, and you can go sideways really quickly and you don't have control, right?
I'll be honest with you guys. We white label, we do, but additional services. So not our core service, not our core solution. You guys need to become experts in your one area of expertise. And you can definitely hire white labels, HighLevel's white label company on Marketplace for SEO, if your clients want SEO, or for getting some other additional service that your clients want that you're just not an expert in. But that's a different ballgame. We're talking increasing lifetime value, upselling your clients. We're not talking about having HighLevel build your entire business forever, which is and I don't think they would recommend it either. I really think they all care about you guys.
Yeah, because like let's say you're like Facebook ads agency and you don't want to take on this website project.
Correct.
That's not something you're scaling, right? Like that's a perfect option for any white labeler in HighLevel, not just
exactly
us, not just us. Okay, we're US based, we're expensive. Right? You can get a VA to get a website done for $200. You come to us for multiple other reasons, right? Like I want somebody that I can trust, blah, 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 that type of stuff. So it's not just us. It's really knowing when to go with white label. But let's go back to the slides, Joe.
Yeah. And I think the whole point, guys, is everyone's looking for a shortcut in being able to get clients amazing results. And the reality is, instead of looking for that shortcut, you should be looking for the fastest way to cut down the learning curve. So if I had zero experience, that's what I would be focused on. How do I bring the learning curve? How do I compress the learning curve so I can learn how to get clients results and get that experience very, very quickly? So Here's a few ideas. Number one, the strategic partner hack. There's only a few people that have ever taken me up on this idea, but it's such a powerful idea. It's silly how few people have taken me up on it. Here's what you do. You approach people in your niche and you find one person to do marketing for free for an entire year. In exchange, they got to agree to a few things. They're going to be your guinea pig. They're going to cover ad spend. So it's not coming out of your pocket where you're paying Google or Facebook. They're going to give you feedback quickly on what's working, what's not working, and help you develop the system with you. They're going to be your reference as you start getting them results. They're also going to give you testimonial videos as you start getting them results. And here's a genius idea that I can't believe I'm giving away, but it's so good. One of the easiest ways to increase your closing rate at the beginning is to have someone in your niche be the backup closer. So if you can't close a deal, be like, yo, Dr. John, can you speak to this prospect and see if you can get them over the edge? So once you start getting your strategic partner results, they can be your backup closer and help you get people over the edge. Now, this is one of the easiest ways to get a lot of experience because there's no risk. You're doing it for free. You can fail. You can fail quickly. You could try out new things. That's the whole point of the partnership. Dr. John gets free marketing. You get experience. You only have to do this with one person.
This is how I started my dental agency, was 2 partnerships. One was with a doc who was a dentist, and he had like a small 500 member Facebook group. And I also partnered up with a strategic ad agency that already had experience, and they did fulfillment. I said, you know what? You guys keep 50%. I will close at high ticket. You guys do fulfillment for me, and my dentist would actually close. I literally infiltrated the entire dental agency on every freaking group there was, on every conference. I promise you, with this strategic partnership method.
Yeah, it's really powerful, and most people don't do it, but a lot of people. So my next advice is to do free trials, like we've been talking about, doing like a week-long free trial. Those work really well to expose you to a lot of different people in your niche. The biggest downside is that you are not building a long-term relationship where you can test things out long-term and get constant feedback. The dynamic is different there. The dynamic is you going in and saying, hey, let me prove myself to you to earn your business, as opposed to going in and saying, hey, let's partner up. I'll do this for free to get the experience. So it doesn't really give you the experience you're looking for. It does work. You're just going to need a few trials to get the experience that you're looking for. And it's going to take a little bit longer time. But that's definitely a really solid way where they're paying for ad spend. And you're doing it for free for like a week or 2-week free trial. That way you can get some experience for a short period of time.
Can I add something here? Because I see the comment that George just made. He said we do the free trial for 3 months. The intention on a trial is not to prove your quality. It's not. It's to prove the system. We call it conditional trials, right? We don't even call it free. We'll say, hey,
yeah, and
we're going
3
to work
months
with
is
you for
ridiculous.
10. No, yeah.
3 months
We'll
is
say,
absolutely ridiculous. Like I would never do that for 3 months unless it's a strategic partner where the whole purpose was for them to help me build the system long-term and have a very but in that case, I would make it a year long. So you have someone helping you nonstop for a whole year developing your system. So what I would say is even 1 month is too long. I would say free trial should be 1 week,
maybe
2
weeks
max.
Yeah. And I literally would say, hey guys, just so you know.
And 1 week is 1 week is really like 3 days of going live, 4 days of setup and communication.
Yeah.
2 weeks is really like 5 to 6 days of going live, the rest of the time communication. But you guys got to keep in mind the point. This is not a strategy to land clients. You guys are saying, Joel, how do I learn how to get results quickly with zero experience? This is a strategy to give you experience quickly. So you have to also shift the purpose and the mindset around why we do this. And then, Paulson, I know I'm moving kind of fast, but we got 10 minutes and I do have a hard cutoff today.
Keep going.
Also, guys, a few other strategies. If you have zero experience, you can partner with a white label company for the first few, but I would, if possible, make an intention to essentially buy the system from them long-term. So if you could find a white label partner that will also help you bring it in-house long-term, I actually don't mind the white label strategy. For example, Nick and Brett, who are huge HighLevel users, I know you know them, and they built their agency up over 100K a month now. They're in my program, and they had a white label partner for a long time, but the intention was always, hey, you're going to help us slowly bring it in-house. So that's one other strategy. And then the final strategy that I would give is you can also reach out to agencies and be like, hey, can I partner with you on the first few clients? But the whole idea is you're going to teach me, I'll give you 50%, or I'll give you the majority of the client's revenue. But in exchange, I want you to teach me and show me the way so that essentially I've cut down the learning curve. So if I had zero experience, this is how I would get experience very quickly. Now, I'm going to give you guys a few other tips. If you're looking to learn how to get results, definitely collaborate with other people in your niche. If you can build a little ecosystem of other roofing agencies or other Cairo agencies or other e-com agencies where you help each other, it's going to shorten the learning curve. If you find someone that knows how to run chiropractor ads or knows how to run roofing ads, you can either pay them and buy the system from them, or you can see if you can do a trade. Like, guys, a lot of people here already know how to do client results. Find who those people are in your niche, and I promise you, if you pay them, they're probably more than likely to help. Especially if you lead with, hey, I'm happy to pay for your time. So you can also, like I said, buy the system for your niche. You could also look at what other 7-figure agencies, so look at all the big dogs that are doing over 7 figures and look at what they are doing. And then also, a lot of different groups and people oftentimes do $100 threads. And I've seen people from HighLevel sell their entire roofing system or their entire Cairo system for $100. You guys should just go and buy that system for $100 and just learn. So this is how I would get experience and learn very, very quickly. Now, I want to address some huge misconceptions about client results. It's definitely okay to get help at the beginning and outsource or partner with someone or learn from someone, but long-term, you must bring it in-house. Your core service, you need to bring it in-house, because if you're relying on someone else for a third of your business, as you scale, it becomes a bigger and bigger vulnerability, both financially and in terms of your operations. So I did want to throw that out there. I also want to say one of the other big misconceptions, the offer is king. Even if you learn how to run Facebook ads for dentists, if the offer sucks, they're not going to get results. If you are running ads, even for a plumber, Google ads, if the offer sucks, you're not going to, like, for example, if the offer is, we'll be at your house within 1 hour, it doesn't have to be a discount. But if the offer, what you're offering them is valuable, they're going to get way better results. It doesn't have to be a discount. It could be same-day dental implant surgery. That's massive. Normally, dental implant surgery takes weeks. They're telling me I could walk in there and walk out in 1 day with a new tooth. So offer is king, guys. And last but not least, this is the most important point of all of today. If you've been kind of falling asleep a little bit, this is the moment that you need to pay attention. If your clients are bad at business, Even if you have the greatest marketing system of all time, it's not going to fix it. A 10 to 10 marketing system does not equal 10 to 10 client results. One of the biggest lessons that I can share with you guys is when you're looking to improve your client results, most of you guys look within you. You're asking yourself, how can I build the next greatest nurturing sequence on HighLevel for my clients? You're asking yourself, how can I make some crazy ad that's going to get way more leads? None of you guys are asking, how can I help my clients level up as business owners to actually leverage my system? Most of you guys actually have an 8 out of 10 marketing system. It's pretty solid. But most of your clients are at like a 2 out of 10 in terms of their skills. Yet you guys are trying to go from an 8 to a 9 in your marketing system to solve the problem instead of helping your clients go from 2 to 6 or 2 to 7. So I'm telling you, the greatest insight that I can give you in terms of the lessons I've learned when it comes to getting clients results is to level up your clients instead of leveling up your marketing. You can hand deliver. There's this guy in my program, guys, that was getting people to call in with already a pre-filled quote. They were given a quote, they were ready to pay, and the moving company was still butchering it. This guy generated phone calls where
you talking about Graham?
Yeah. Where the actual quote was already decided in terms of the cost. The guy was still butchering it. So you got to keep in mind, most business owners just aren't that talented. That's just the reality. Yet the way that we're solving client results most of the time is by just creating better and better marketing. But if they're really bad at lead nurturing and customer service, it might even make the problem worse. I've definitely sent clients more leads, and then it just creates an even worse experience. We actually, for a long period of time, we would limit the number of leads that our clients could get so that they actually could work through figuring out how to level up instead of just being overwhelmed. So this is kind of weird to think about, but most of you guys are too good for your own good. And instead of trying to be even better marketers, you should help your clients become better business owners. With that in mind, we got 2 minutes. So I want to give you guys my top 3 other hacks, bonus hacks to getting client results. Number 1, most of you guys are not doing a launch call to set expectations. If I were you, I would block off an hour with each new client. And at the beginning, I would personally meet with them. For the first 80 clients that we ever had, I met with each and every one, and I did a 1-hour call with them. And what I would do, guys, is figure out what are the biggest reasons why people succeed with your marketing? What are the biggest reasons why people fail? And what are the biggest issues that most clients have? And I would address all those things on a launch call. You can have a slide called How to Succeed. You can have a slide called How to Not Fail. Or why would you fail? And you could break down, here's why most people fail with our program, and here's how to avoid it. And then you can take any of the other issues that come up often, for example, lead quality. You can have a whole slide on lead quality. Let's say that one of the biggest reasons people fail is because they're bad at sales. And that's one of the issues that you keep having with clients. Have a whole slide on sales. If you guys can start off strong with clear expectations, it's going to buy you a lot of, you're going to get a lot of breathing room. It's going to give you a lot of space to actually work through helping them succeed with the system. final two hacks. The ad spend hack. One of the easiest ways to get clients results is to get them to spend more money on advertising. Your management fee, unless you're doing e-com, should be pretty flat where it doesn't scale with ad spend. So one of the easiest ways to just immediately get your clients more results is to get them to spend more since your fee is the same. Now, you would think that by spending more money on advertising, you would think that it's going to be harder for them to get an ROI. But what I realized is that the numbers are actually in your favor. And even though it is a bigger all-in investment, the amount of opportunities that they get increase exponentially to the point where it's even easier to get an ROI. So I'll give you guys an example. We're going to do some math here. It's going to get kind of crazy. Let's say your clients are spending $1,000 a month on ads, and that's $33 a day ish, maybe like 35, whatever. Let's just say 35. And off of that $1,000, they get 3 new customers at 1.5K. 3 times 1.5 is $4,500. So that's how much they walk away with. If you're charging them $1,500 for your services, let me just make this smaller. If you're charging them $1,500 for your services and there was $1,000 in ad spend, they walk away with $2,000. Does that make sense? Is my math good there? Paulson, help me out. I think you have an MBA.
Yeah, I mean, the point here is to be agile and versatile in how you field issues, right? Like when there's a sales problem, you as the agency guys, you better be the first one to address problems. And that's the biggest hack in account management. Be the first one to address a problem, right? It's like plaintiff versus defendant. Don't be the person that has to explain things. Be the person that addresses it. And then what happens? You get in front of it and you can come in and with these tactics that Joel's sharing, hey, here's what the marketing budget is looking like based on results. Here's my solution. My prescription for your practice or your business is that we spend another $1,200 on Facebook. Right? Fielding it before this all goes down is going to be the key of when. That's the key to account management.
What's interesting, look, guys, if we follow the same closing rate based on ad spend, and we up it from $35 a day to $100 a day, they're essentially getting 9 new customers at 1.5K, which is $13,500, minus $1,500 for your services, minus $3,000 in ad spend. They actually walk away, I believe it's with $9,000. I don't know if the math is exact, but you guys get the point. Someone should double check this, but for the most part, the whole point is you walk away with a lot more money when you increase ad spend because you are double or tripling the opportunity for them to succeed without raising your management fee. This stays flat. So, and this applies for your own ads too. If you spend 3 times as much, your chances of success will exponentially grow. Because that is the direct, that is one of the biggest variables to client results is ad spend, how much money you're actually using to help them promote their business. So if you tweak that lever in your favor, it's going to get them better results. And what's crazy is that it's really easy. It's really easy to convince a client to go from $33 a day in ad spend to $100 a day in ad spend. That's not a crazy jump. Getting someone to go paying you $1,500 to $2,500 is a big jump, but getting them to spend more on ad spend that goes straight to Facebook or straight to Google is not a big jump. So it's an easy sell and a very easy hack for you guys to get great results. And then the last hack for you guys, and then I really got to go. I actually have to message the person I'm meeting with. Give me one sec. Okay. Actually, they messaged me. They're running late, so no worries. The last hack that I have for you guys to get really, really good results for people is to start off strong. So that first month, try to get one quick win. We personally run a Google review campaign first month because then they're like, oh my God, you got me so many Google reviews. And even if the ads are not converting just yet, they love you. So if I were you guys, I would figure out a way to get your clients one quick win month one, or a few quick wins. Maybe you help them implement a referral program. Maybe you help them do a Google review campaign. Maybe you do a massive blast on HighLevel to their list. Maybe you surprise them with a new website. I don't know. It's up to you guys. The whole point is to start off strong with a quick win to immediately get them on your side. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. So hopefully that gave you guys some clarity in terms of client results, what to focus on, how to think about it, how to essentially go from here. And I think that wraps up day 9.
Thank you, brother. That was great.
I have 4 minutes because the person was late. So
can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Raise your hands, guys, and we'll go through all the questions after George. Okay. So go ahead and raise your hands. Go.
This is more of a sales call. Is that okay if I ask that question? Okay. So when I started making all my calls, I would get a lot because I've been going back through my opt-ins. I would get a lot of voicemail. So should I go ahead and leave a voicemail?
I have a better question for you. Do you think you're overthinking it a little bit?
Not really. I'm leaving a voicemail.
The point is, I don't think it matters. Like, just call more people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. I just doing 2 hours a day, calling everybody.
Yeah, there you go. That's the important piece. You know, like, don't worry too much about voicemail, no voicemail. Like, it's just,
all right.
Yeah.
Got you, homie. Thank you.
Just want you to stay focused on the right things. That's all. It's all love.
Let's go with Justin Pena.
Hey, my question was, what do you say to a client when you're trying to convince them to spend more or like invest more in ad spend?
Yeah. If you want to mute yourself, I can, just because there's some back. Yeah, there you go. Great question. Here's what we say. On average, our clients spend about $100 a day on ad spend. Our highest performing clients actually bump it up to about $150, $200 a day. We do require at least $50 a day. But like I said, somewhere around the middle is like $100 a day. What would you prefer? So you're anchoring the ad spend to be pretty high. Worst case, you're going to walk away with 50 a day. That's how we've started doing it. And we make it mandatory for them to spend a certain amount.
Also, Justin, key to that scenario is who's recommending, right? You being in front of it and telling them that you need to increase the ad spend is different than them complaining, and then you're coming into trying to solve the problem with more expenses. So the key is to get in front of the problem in account management, right? And just say, hey guys, just a heads up, I see that you guys are not converting. Here's what our fellow clients are doing. Be the first one to address that problem, not the second.
I would also go over this on the close, not like I would try to get as much ad spend from day one. And it doesn't have to be a huge jump, guys, but even going from $15 a day to $30 a day is massive. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it is over time. Let's say that's an extra.
It's double the ad spend.
It's about an extra $6,000 a year in ad spend.
Yeah. Let's go with Christian.
Sweet. While on this call, I got an email that someone went through my lead form. So I was like, sick. First appointment booked for tomorrow.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that's from your ads, right?
Yeah, from my ads.
Nice. Thank you for launching.
Thank you for teaching you guys, honestly. So that being said, I actually have absolutely no idea what to do tomorrow on this call. So like, I don't have like the slide deck thing. So what would be like 3 main things to touch on this call to like at least get feedback or move it in the direction I want to, which is a close. What would you?
Have you checked out the last 2 days trainings?
Yes, the intro call thing, the intro and then the demo. But what they did is they actually booked into the calendar for 45 minutes. So would you still do an intro?
Yeah, follow the same exact process no matter what.
And then rebook an appointment?
Yep.
Okay.
You could even get in front of if their booking is like for, let's say, Friday, and they never signed up for an intro, we fill that intro before the booking, like a day
Correct.
in advance.
That's the right move would have been for you to call them immediately and take the intro call right then and there. And just that's like an advanced hack, but same process. I don't care if it's a referral. I don't care if it's someone being like, yo, I want to sign up. I'm ready to go. They go through the same exact sales process. And any single time I've questioned that, it doesn't work out. I've had people be like, yo, Joel, I'm ready to invest. How do I sign up? The way you sign up, let's schedule a quick 15-minute call, see if there's a good fit. You know, like I take them through the exact same sales process every single time.
Solid. All right, I got it.
Yeah. So I would check out those last 2 days and just model that process and then do an intro call first.
So I just want to quickly know, like in my niche, real estate, I want to just sub niche it towards, like right now I've been doing Facebook ads for buyers, first time home buyers. So can I start from there? Because I have no experience for listing a property. I didn't run that ads. But if I just want to start from what I know and I've been doing from last 8-9 months. So what do you say, sub niching within a niche?
Yeah, that's a great question. And you just reminded me. This is fantastic that you reminded me. I completely forgot to touch on survey ads. I cannot believe that I forgot to touch on this, but we all make mistakes here, guys. If you are in mortgage, real estate, maybe some legal niches, you're going to essentially run survey ads where you're telling people, hey, fill out this survey to see if you qualify for a loan or see if you qualify for compensation because you got in a car accident. So I would say there's the intent, impulse, and info-driven ads where they're just, you're getting them through a process to get more information and see if they qualify. So I did want to throw that out there. It's really just for a few niches like insurance, real estate, some attorney niches. Paulson, what were you going to say?
Got it.
No. I think we're good. Huria, the key is to sub niche down. If you could, in a big industry like real estate, there's enough audience to sub niche down. But if you're like, let's say, kitchen remodeling and you're going to be the sink guy versus the oven guy, no, that is too sub niche down out in the waters by yourself, right?
Yeah. So
I
just don't want to overwhelm myself. I have follow-up for home buyers and everything written, but not for sellers and pre-construction. I don't have things ready for that. So instead of waiting, I can just launch my.
Very few people have cracked the code on seller campaigns. The way that I've seen most people in real estate do is they just set up buyers campaigns, and sometimes they'll still attract sellers, but they just do buyers.
Yeah.
I mean, as a homeowner, right? You're just like, I've sold at least 3 houses, and I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna call the same realtor that I used to buy that house. They're gonna just sell it for me.
I did listing ad where buyers ad were doing well, but we listed a property was $1.5 million. I spent around $2,000 on advertising. I didn't get good response. So I just kind of discourage on that side to try that. Maybe when I have so much money, I will check that out. But buying side is good. Running that.
Yeah. Let's go with.
Guys, I do have to run. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you all very, very much.
All right, Joel.
Have a great one.
I'll catch up with you.
Bye.
All right, man. Braden, let's go with your question, buddy.
Mine was kind of for Joel because he's in the industry of, sorry if there's some noise, I'm just at a cafe, in the industry of like health and wellness with chiropractors and stuff like that. So a lot of kickback or kind of objection that I'm getting right now is based on not wanting to discount the service for a prolonged period of time. And I know I put it into the chat here and you just said straight up, like, forget those people or like just say no to them. But what happens if they're okay for running it for like 3 months, and then at the end of the 3 months, like, I don't want to lose the retainer just at a 3-month mark. I want to prolong it. So like, I don't know what to do in that type of situation.
Yeah. Most clients actually, especially in healthcare, they don't want to be the coupon doctor. They don't. No, none of them do, including dentists, including med spas. Nobody. They don't want to give off the perception that they have to. They don't want to give off the perception that they're bad clinically and forcing them to provide a discount in the community. It's more of a reputation thing, right? In that scenario, you need to address reputation. And what we would do is this: hey, doc, here's the thing. We understand that you don't want to discount this, but here's how we're going to make sure the brand is perceived as luxury. So we would use the same discount, but our ad creatives will be just like elegant, right? And so that's one way we've hacked through that, right? And the other way is creating different service lines. So almost everybody, when we first start off, is like, they roll in with Facebook ads or HighLevel ads, right? And then as soon as they're in it, even if they're saying yes to discount-based services, we switch them over into SEO, Google Ads, and websites and social media management, and expanding the service line horizontally. We don't just stay on Facebook ads, right? And that's one of the biggest difference between Joel's agencies and my agency at HighLevel. It's like, we expand every client across the board, and therefore our clients stay with us for like 13, 14 months, right? Joel, he knows his agency clients are going to stay with them for like 4, 5, maybe 6 months, and is pounding the way for the next guy. And that's fine, because they have a huge, massive sales team, and they're pounding away, and they expand into providing courses, sales trainings, converting those leads for them. But it's more of a perception thing on discounting services. And you have to discount services, to be honest, like, especially if you're running Facebook ads. If it's Google, if they say no and they're completely resistant, okay, you know what, guy? No problem. We're going to have to just go with Google and SEO. That's it. You pivot into another traffic source.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you cannot pivot, then it's not worth running ads that it's not going to be effective. That's why it's better to walk away now to close them later when you have those services. I'd rather not give them a bad experience versus win them back later.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep. Let's go with Ron Nemeth.
Yeah, hi, Paulson. I just had a question about the strategic partner. What's the relationship there? What you want to get out of them, and who pays for what, and so on.
So there's two different things. There's strategic partnership, and there's agency partnership, right? Strategic partnership means you strategize with somebody within the industry, right?
So if there's going to be ad spend, who pays for that?
They do.
Or this doesn't include any of that?
It depends on what you're doing. If you're running a HighLevel campaign for them, there's no expense, right? You can just run it up on a list and run a text campaign, and that's what they get. So it depends on what you want to do. One of the best ways, some of you that are in here, how many of you guys are in the dental industry? I'm able to give you guys a lot of examples from dental, because I had my own dental agency before I came over to HighLevel. And this is how I scaled my dental. Was so, what is the word? It was so resistive of marketers in general, even like 4 years ago when I was in there, right? They just don't like marketers, no matter how we cook it, no matter what we do. So my best way to break into the industry was through strategic partnership. The very first client, one of the very first clients I had, his name was Greg May. If you look him up in Metairie, Louisiana, he still runs his practice there. And Dr. Greg would call me, hey, Paul, I need somebody to run some ads. I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll just take care of it. But here's what I expect. Can you send me about 5 introductions this week? it was conditional. I needed something back from you for me to do this, right? And he would do that. I expanded into dentistry just single-handedly through him, right? And it was worth it. And I never asked him to. Back then, HighLevel didn't exist. I was, zapping away a bunch of active campaign and Infusionsoft campaigns, to be honest with you guys. Like there was no operating system like HighLevel. So it wasn't that easy. I had to do a lot of work to make this happen, but it was worth it because when you have a lead that comes in from a referral, it's easier to close, and they're typically easier to close at high ticket. So instead of me charging 1,500, right, I would charge the referrals 2,000 or 2,500.
So you are pretty tech savvy, hey?
Me? Oh, I know what I'm doing. I can run anybody into the ground on some ads for sure. But my persona that I'm building is I'm not the techie guy in HighLevel. I don't want to deal with any support calls, to be honest. But I know my stuff, right? But going back to your question, Ron, the whole point is not about who's covering ad spend, what it is. It's more about how creative you get. Hey, listen, let's say you don't want to spend the money yourself. You can say, hey, listen, you cover the marketing expenses. I'll just waive the management fee altogether, right? And it's important that you don't go to a client who is not established in the industry. Any client does not qualify for a strategic partnership. They need to have.
The point of the partnership is for you to get the experience, right? So it's like
in addition to the leads that they will provide.
Right. So it's an enhanced free trial, I guess. Really, right?
Well, yes, as well. You get experience, but I never. Here's one difference I had with what Joel said. I never entertained like a strategic partnership until I was confident that I can deliver results. After first like 5-6 clients is when I kind of cornered somebody and I said, hey, I can deliver results. Right? Because I don't want to strategically partner with somebody and not deliver results. So I waited for like the first couple of clients and I knew I was going to pound it. And that's when I said, hey, I can get you 20 implants. Can you close like at least $60,000 next week? He's like, yeah, let's do it. And he covered all the ad spend. Right?
Okay. The only other question is, would you ever run a survey ad to your niche to get information about your niche, or would it only be for customer facing ads?
Yeah, customer facing ads. There's no point in spending that much money to research.
So just do it like in an email blast or something like that if you wanted to do a survey, right?
Yeah, I mean, how much data do you need to get started, right? Let's say you're going after industry. I don't need to talk to more than 2-3 people. I'm just going to pick up the phone and be like, hey, man, I saw that you're established in the industry. Want to just buy you lunch. I used to order lunches for dental practices all day long. Hey, I just want to just spend time with you and understand you. After I've closed the clients, I would actually fly into these locations and spend my day with them. I would just literally fly in and say, hey, I'm going to spend my day with you. I'm your freaking marketer for the next 2 years. I'm going to understand this practice. And then literally pretty soon I'm outsourcing SEO, Google ads, and I'm running Facebook ads by myself, charging them $4,000 or $5,000 a month. Right. So that's how I got research done, is actually learning after the close. Before the close, running surveys, yeah, you can do it, but I mean, that's quite expensive. For you to get a survey lead, it's going to cost you $200-$300. It's not that easy.
If it were an ad, I guess, right?
Correct. If it's an accurate, completely filled out survey. Yeah. Fair enough.
Great. Thanks.
Let's go back to Justin. And if any of you have questions, we've got a lot of time, guys. Tomorrow's the last day, so get all your questions out, okay? I'm going to stay on till about another 30 minutes, and we'll go through all the questions as we possibly can. Let's go to Justin.
So we're running impulse-based ads on Facebook, and I was wondering at what point, when do you think it's a good time to transition them into other services like Google Ads, SEO?
If you're running impulse-based ads, you're supposed to run social ads for impulse. not intent, right? Intent is going to be on search. The problem with you jumping into search is more expensive, right? So the good thing about social ads is more cost effective, lower quality, right? So if they suck at sales, I'm going to go right into Google Ads and say, hey, you're going to get less leads, but it's going to be more qualitative. You should be able to close them, right? Outside of that, I wouldn't make a change.
Gotcha. Okay, so right now we're doing it based on ad spend budget. So if they're spending at least $2,500 a month in ad spend, then we'll divide $1,500 onto Google and $1,000 onto Facebook. Is that would you recommend doing that, or is that?
I don't think there's a need for it. I don't think there's a need for it. If you get enough good quality, decent leads from Facebook, you don't have to have multiple streams of traffic running. Now, if you're setting up retargeting, sure, great, right? That's not bad. If you're doing high-level ads, sure, not bad, right? But your primary traffic is going to probably be more cost-effective on social ads. If you run Google Ads, great. If they can handle the volume, they have good salespeople, sure, run it up, right? But the cost-effective need is going to be on social, especially in your industry, not because I know your industry.
Gotcha. Thanks. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Let's go with Brett Bowden.
Hey, thanks, Paulson.
Hey.
My question goes back to a few days ago where you guys were recommending different profiles and I knew we had different email addresses for outreach, but do we need a Facebook page for our agency and each one of those has a niche or just speaks to the niche? So unfortunately, I'm in 2 niches. So do I need 2 profile pages, 2 link, whether that's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, etc.?
Yeah. What's stopping you from niching down into one niche?
I've just got clients already in these niches, so I'm there already. So I am looking at a third niche just because of an opportunity, but
yeah, I mean, if you were to stay in all 3 niches or 2 niches, you need to build 3 different brands at the same time.
Okay, so brands all together?
No, separate.
Okay, so
separate. So you'd have to, let's say you're going after dental, chiro, and real estate. You need 3 different brands.
And what, for example, that would be a HighLevel. I mean, I'm trying to think of, you guys work with a lot of different niches, right? But would that actually be 3 different brands, or could it be the same company? Like no? It
could be the same company, right? You still need 3 DBAs, 3 brands that's facing that industry, right? Okay. If it needs to be like something for real estate guys, so when the real estate guys look at your brand, they can actually relate, right? Same thing for the other. And it's not I'm not talking about how many LLCs you have or anything like that. Brand facing, they need to understand that it's something that they can relate to. This is why we don't recommend traditional agencies. Like if you are in it, sure, great, but it's really hard to scale. And I mean, the HighLevel agency was really hard to scale. The amount of pressure and strain that it put on so many different families in-house, it's quite a bit. Everybody was doing 16-hour days for years, right? And Joel did it the other way. He said, you know what, I'm just going to do $21 appointments for chiros and $200 consults for wellness plans and nothing else, and I'm just going to work with chiros. And his team's got the ability to go home at 5 o'clock and not deal with any headaches. That's why I'm telling you to niche down, not just from a sales perspective, but on a operations perspective as well. It makes more sense to niche down into an industry, dial it down. Let's say you get to 100 clients in that industry. Sure, come in with another industry and level up, go horizontal, but doing it simultaneously is not something I would recommend.
Okay, so Joel's not his own brand. He's got, his brand is what exactly? Is it like...
He's got his own agency brand. He's got his own coaching brand. He's got his own personal brand. He's got agency partners that are branded for him. He's got industry partners that are branded for him. Same thing with us. Our strategic niche partners are branded by us. They are they're a certain brand. We have agency partners. So if you guys go to Patient Rush, Legal Rush, Real Estate Rush, all those brands that we have developed over the years are strategically placed, and those agencies are running ads left and right worldwide, and we're doing all their fulfillment. So we have partnerships, but they're all branded in their own relative sub niches that we have built out.
Okay, so profiles to match those is really what we're looking for. Okay,
correct. Yes.
That's
yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Boston.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Any questions, guys? Go ahead and raise your hand and I'll go through your questions. If not, we'll call it a day. Let's see. Huria, let's go with you. I'm getting some private messages. My orthodontist client is doing 50% off day braces. I'm assuming it's mixed intent. Sure. Yeah, go ahead, Huria.
So this question is not very clear, but what is coming into my mind is, if I sub-niche myself, should I be running all ads from one page that I am a person, real estate agent I'm partnered with, or I should be creating 3-4 pages and run ad from them, like maybe the name of city, what you suggest, like buy a home in Oakville, buy a home in Mississauga, then they're having 3-4 pages separately, and then I can run ads for the people who are looking for the properties in those specific areas. Because if I'm just focusing on buying side, so then how to scale that side, I can just create with the different pages with that city names and running ads from those specific pages. But now the problem is to managing those 4 or 5 pages, because there should be some good content on those pages as well for the people to look at, like these pages from someone trustworthy. What do you say about this?
I think your question is, should I have multiple pages to run ads for my own self?
Yeah. And
Answer
maybe
is no. Answer is no. Answer is no, because you're on one industry. You're just in real estate, right? That's it. You have one page, a page for your agency, and that's where you're going to run ads for yourself. Your clients' pages have nothing to do with what we're talking about. For them, they run their own pages. For you, you have one page that's representing your agency, and you're going to focus on real estate and run ads from that page. Brett Bowden asked if he should have multiple pages because he's focused on 3 niches at the same time. Although I recommended him not to do that, you still have to have 3 separate brands and pages because he's going after 3 industries.
Okay, so I will be having my agency page whatsoever in my setup, and then I will be running it from my customers page. That's what you're
correct. Saying, right? When you run ads for your customers, it's going to be from their page. Your ads are going to be from your page.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to assume that's all there is. And have a good
Thanks,
rest
brother.
Of your... Yep, absolutely. Have a good rest of your afternoon, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.